Hey everyone, thanks for joining me. In today's video, I'm going to be walking you through the UConnect system for the Jeep Wrangler JL model years 2018 and newer. I'll also be including some cool tips along the way, and as a bonus, I'll also be covering the digital instrument cluster so that you too can get the most out of your drive. Let's hop right in. Alright, so here we are looking at the UConnect infotainment system for the Jeep Wrangler JL. Keep in mind that this is the 7-inch UConnect unit. You can also get the smaller 4-inch unit or the larger 8-inch one on higher up models, this being the sport model specifically. But the basic architecture of the UConnect system is basically the same across all three platforms. The first two popular things that a lot of people do when they first get their vehicle is they want to connect their phone via Bluetooth to the system, or if it's available through Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, which this one is equipped with. The way to do that, first of all, through the Bluetooth pairing, is you want to go over to where it says phone. My iPhone's already paired through Bluetooth, so that's why it's showing up in the middle. But if this is your first time pairing your phone to this system, what you want to do is you want to go over to settings, and then you want to go over to where it says add device, and then what it'll do is it'll start the pairing procedure for your phone, and it'll also provide you with a PIN number. So looking at this PIN number, what you want to do is you want to return to your phone. You want to make sure your Bluetooth is on. You want to go into the settings, and then you want to look for something that says UConnect, and then you want to hit that. You want to hit that, and then you want to make sure that it pairs after you hit the 4-digit PIN number that the UConnect system provided you with. So once that pairing is successful, it'll say that on the screen, and then it'll return you back to the phone menu. The other way you can connect your phone to your Jeep Wrangler JL is you can also use an iPhone or Android charging cable, USB, and you can hook it either through the under the media flap here. You can do the USB-A, the older one, or if your phone came with the USB-C, which is the newer version, you can plug it into either these ports under the flap, or you can also under your center console, you can plug it into the USB-A port down there. Once you plug it into either phone, there should be something that pulls up on your phone if it's your first time that will ask if you want to allow UConnect to pull up either CarPlay or Android Auto, and it'll ask for your confirmation. Once you push the allow button, it'll now overlay CarPlay or Android Auto on top of the main UConnect interface menu. Something that's really cool about CarPlay and Android Auto is it's almost like a mirrored version of your phone on the UConnect screen, which actually includes a lot of features from your phone onto that too. So you can pull up like Google Maps, Apple Maps, Waze, so you get that up-to-date real-time traffic. And it also, you can pull up your music with really good sound quality. And you can also send and receive text messages and calls while you're driving, which is really cool. You can also use the person talking button on the left side of the steering wheel. Once this is connected, you can activate Google or Siri if you push and hold it. And then what that'll do is it'll pull up something on your screen. You'll hear an audible beep. It'll just prompt you to say anything you want to either Siri or Google, which is really neat too. Unplugging your phone out of that menu will then return it to the UConnect menu. Okay, so moving from the bottom left side to the right side. Unlike other brands, there is no real home hub menu in the Jeep Wrangler. If you hit one tab, it'll always stay on that tab besides the controls button, which is temporary. But if you hit the any other tab, it'll stay on that menu the entire time while you're driving. Okay, so starting on the left side, you have your radio tab. It's pretty straightforward. So what you can do is you can use this like phone dial pad style of typing in any channel that you want. And this is for FM, AM, Sirius as well. You can tune channels forward, backwards. You can adjust your audio settings from the audio button for your speakers, so you can dial it in just the way you want. You can browse your presets 2 ways. You can add them up here, and then say you like a certain channel. You can hold to set that channel by pushing and holding on a button, or you can push where it says browse, and it'll go into your menu here, and then you can hold to set there, and you can also find all of your other presets that you set up already. So either way is the same process. So the next button is your media button, and what that does is it'll try and pull music from any source that you have connected to the UConnect interface. So you can do either, if you select your source, you can choose whether you want to play music from your USB 1, your USB 2 port, which is the one in the center console. You can do it wirelessly through Bluetooth, like I mentioned earlier, or you can even do the standard auxiliary audio cable. So the next tab is your climate control. Okay, so the climate control is off right now, but if it's, you can push on, and then this is, it'll do a total readout of your entire climate control system. So you can, what's cool is you can touch like up and down for your temperature. You can also set where you want air blowing out of the vents specifically. So you can do like defrost, down at your feet, up in the air, down. You can do your max AC, your AC recirc, auto, your front defrost, rear defrost, almost everything. All of your climate controls are on this screen, including your steering wheel heater or your seat, your heated seat. But did you know, this is a cool tip, that you can also operate your climate control while your screen is off? So what you can do is you can push this big radio on-off button here, and that'll turn your screen off. Now your climate control is still active, like I can still feel air coming out of the vents, and you can actually adjust your temperature up or down and see where it says what your current temperature is. So you can actually adjust it on the fly with the buttons down here, which is really cool. And then you can also do everything else too. So you can do your front defrost, your rear, you can do your heated seat button, your heated steering wheel if it's equipped with your vehicle. You can also even set, and I use this button all the time, where the air is blowing out, which vent it's blowing out of, what level. And it'll even read out on the screen where it's blowing out, which is really cool. And then you can also use this big knob in the middle to adjust the vent. So everything that you adjust, it'll still show up on the screen even though it's off. Okay, so going back into the UConnect interface. So your next button on the right will be your UConnect Apps. And here you can pull up things like your heated seats, your audio settings, your backup cam, climate control, your compass. And then what's cool is that you can say you don't like a certain button down here, or you want to switch where they're located. So you can actually push and hold an icon, and you can drag it down just like your phone down to your desired tab, and then if you let go, see how that changed to backup cam. So you can do that, which is pretty cool. So change it back to climate control. All right, so that's one of the coolest features I like about that menu. And then your next one's going to be your interior controls, and this is the temporary menu I told you about. So if you just leave it on this screen, it'll go back to any of the other tabs. But this is where you can also control your heated seat, steering wheel, backup cam, and then you can also set up your actual settings. So we'll jump to that menu as well. And then when you leave it, once it's done, it'll actually return to the previous menu that you came from. Your next button is your phone button, like I mentioned earlier. You can dial people. You can also pull up your contacts list through phone book. You can look at your recent calls. You can do a lot of things. You can mute calls while, say, like you're in a meeting and you don't want them hearing your voice. You can mute the call. And then you can also jump over to settings as well for your phone by adding your device, or changing up your paired audio sources or phones if you have multiple units hooked up to it via Bluetooth. Settings is where you can change all your vehicle settings in the infotainment display. And so you can change your language, your display, You can set how you want your screen to appear when your headlights are on and off. And then like I said earlier, so you can set if your CarPlay or Android Auto appears if your smartphone's connected. And then some other menus too, if you want to hear the touchscreen beeping or not while you're touching it. I personally like that just for confirmation. Okay, so here's one of the coolest things I like about this car, and this is the bonus feature that I wanted to include in this video, and that is the center digital instrument display for the Jeep Wrangler JL. It's really cool just how much stuff it reads out on here. So the way I have it set up right now is, as you can see, so there's the compass on the top left, the radio station in the middle, the temperature on the right, but you can really customize most of this display using this 4-way pad on the left side of your steering wheel. So if you change your button up or down, so if you push down, this will read out even more info for you. So your tire pressure, your coolant temp, trans temp, and then if you keep going down, you can see even more information. So like the angle that your Jeep is at. If you're going up this big mountain, you want to know what angle your Jeep's at currently. You can see it on there in real time, which is really cool. And then your average fuel economy, your trip, and things like that. But the coolest thing is if you go down to the settings, the screen setup, number 9, you push OK to enter screen setup on the pad. You can actually change all those quadrants of the screen to pretty much anything you want. So on the upper left, I currently have the compass, but I can change that by pushing the OK to change that part where it's highlighted. You can change that to your compass, your outside temp, time, range to empty, average fuel economy, trip, or just nothing at all. But I like it on compass on the top left. And then say like you don't like you don't like the temperature being red on the right, you want it on the left instead. So you can highlight that, and then you can push it. You can change it to switch it with the left side, so I could have like the compass on the right, and then it's pretty funny that you can duplicate both of them. It's like, wow, I really want to know what direction I'm in. And then go back to the upper left and say like, okay, I want to read outside temp now. Confirm that. So now it reads temperature on the left and compass on. So it's really cool how customizable that is. And that's it for today. If you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe so that you can always stay up to date on my latest videos. See you guys in the next one.